Hello and welcome to Awaken Ministries Testimonies. My name's Gregory Henderson, and I'd like to talk to you about several years back what really was giving me issues, bothering me, because I wanted to know what the will of God was for my life. God has a plan in the future for each one of us. Well, I want to know that future. I've wanted to know a long time. God has opened my eyes to a lot of things, but in this one part of my testimony, I want to enlighten you on some of the things that I found out that just might help you. I went searching for the things of God. I found out that, He says, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed and by the renewing of your mind. Well, what does renewing of your mind mean? It means changing your mind. So I started doing a lot of research and study on how our mind works and why we do the things we do. Well, as I got into all that, I got consumed with it because our mind, our brain, is a powerful tool. I mean, God created it and it is powerful. And I got caught up into thinking that, well, if we can sit there and do all these things just by thoughts, because whatever your thoughts are, and whoever controls those thoughts, that's the way your life is going to go. If you get consumed over something, whether it's positive or negative, it's going to change your life, your behavior, your feelings, your emotions, everything to go in that direction, either positive or negative. Well, I got caught up into the workings of the mind and how you can control your own mind and do the things that you want to do and not do the things that you don't want to do. So after I got caught up into that, and the Lord finally got hold of me and told me, says, listen, I created your mind as well as everything about you. That, seek my kingdom first, and then He'll add everything to it. So I started seeking God first and what He wanted. I still didn't know what He wanted, but I knew He wanted one thing, and that was for me to seek Him first. Don't worry about everything else. Just concentrate on Him. And that's why He says, do not conform to this world. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. He says we get so caught up into the things we say are bad in this world, and that we're having this hard time and everything else. We get so caught up in that, we don't see the glory and the beauty and everything else around us, what God has given us that we do have, because we want more. And why? It's our thoughts. We sit there and people say they multitask, do multiple things at the same time. Sorry, that's impossible. The mind can only think of one thing at a time. Whatever thought's there, you're going to think about it until another thought comes to replace it. You're not going to have all these thoughts coming. One comes after the other. So don't think that, all this, you're bombarded with all these thoughts. You are, but they're coming so fast into your brain and your mind that it's one after the other. It's not 10 at one time, because you can't think of 10 things at a time. You can only think of one. So why do I say that? Well, I guess it's because of the scripture he finally showed me, Joshua 1:9, he sat there and says, have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be frightened, do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Well, that wherever means totally everywhere. And we travel in more places in our mind than physically we could ever go. I mean, our mind travels everywhere. But the thing about it is, Satan knows that too, and Satan uses our mind as a battlefield to keep us from finding God, from finding Jesus Christ in our lives, from having a peaceful life. You know, what is it? The Lord tells us that, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about these things. I mean, gives a whole list. Think about these wonderful things. Why? To keep us from evil. Because if we don't think about the good, the bad, the evil, the sinful will overcome us. Whatever controls your thoughts controls you and makes you who you are. Why? Because it changes your attitude. It changes your feelings, your emotions, like I said. I mean, unforgiveness is one of the biggest weapons Satan has in his arsenal. He uses unforgiveness to destroy many of believers in God. Many Christians fall because they won't forgive someone who's hurt them or they think that's hurt them. If you don't forgive, you leave your whole being open for attack from Satan. And you'll never find the love and peace from God. I guess what I'm trying to say, folks, is that Jesus said that the second greatest commandment was to love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. We must love each other. And we must seek God's kingdom first. Watch what you think. And we appreciate you coming by to Awaken Ministry. God bless you, and remember always, Jesus is alive, and he's doing quite well. So don't never forget that. Bye-bye.